I was sent this short clip to my Instagram inbox yesterday, and this is the type of thing that solidifies my stance on let the birth rate plummet to hell. So this man asked another man, "What's your advice, to another man that just can't see his children?" And the other man said, "Start another family." This is the type of thing where I have listened to so many men. I've listened to the red pillars. I've listened to men, these podcast bros. I listen to how flippant they are about their responsibilities, all whilst using the word accountability, and women don't take accountability. I've seen it, and they are perfectly fine with dropping their sperm and then bouncing. And too much. Women have to do too much in order to prop up and support families without the engagement of the counterparts. And until such time as those things and those dynamics change, women just need to opt out of kids, opt out for just the time being, because kids are an anchor. They keep you in place. They are expensive. The political climate right now sucks. The cost of living is way too high. The wages are way too high. And when you have these types that will spread their baby batter but won't take responsibility for their part in raising their children, you need to just opt out, because it's a thankless and expensive job. They want you to take on this duty, yet they don't feel a duty in return to do their part. I'm going to show this video now. It's a short clip. I'm going to show the video.
Like, what's your advice to men who want to be good fathers, but can't see their kids because of the relationship with them?
Yeah.
What's your advice to that man?
Have another family.
Start another family.
Yeah, have another children.
So
Have another children.
It's just nobody tells the truth. If you don't see your kid, you wish them the best. The mama got control, and you got to come to grips with it. You can't be knocking on the door, screaming, "Let me see my seed," and all that. You got to be cold with it, dog. In your head, you're like, you know what? Fuck you and that child. I have another family.
That's hard.
That's good. Fuck you and that child. I have another family.
That's tough.
That's not fair to the kid.
Yeah, what about the little man?
Live long enough in life, nothing is fair.
Nah, I get that, but it's not fair to the kid.
Yeah,
I have to suffer because you said fuck me because
it depends now. Like I said, there's a one night stand. Depends if the father was in a relationship with the mother for years and the father abandoned you. Different story.
I'm talking about the man who's a good man. He want to be in the kid's life, but the mom is just making it super difficult.
So then you wait till that child grows up.
When I play men's clips, when I speak, when I just read their words, people come at me like I'm the one that's man hating or something, because they don't want to see men's words reflected back to them, even when this is their behaviors. Beauty is her name says, so going to court for joint custody is not an option anymore. Miss Parker says, wow, so just forget about your kid and make new ones. I feel bad for that kid all the way around. Very sad on mom and dad's part. So she's putting it on the mothers that a dad is willing to walk away. It, like, literally, we can't blame men for their own behaviors. He has to take responsibility for his behavior. She has to take responsibility for hers. But for whatever reason, a man can do something, and it's partly the woman's fault as well. Jamin says, these comments are wild. So many men are willing to dismiss their child because of the mother. We do have a man here that has some sense. He says, I didn't play that with my oldest two. I went to court and got full custody of my oldest son and daughter. Men, take it from me. I thought courts wouldn't give me sole legal custody, and they did. I fought and saved my receipts. So men can get custody. Men just need to go to court and try. Tiff B. Cookin says, all the deadbeats agreeing. Culture Shock brand says, as well as the mother using the child as a tool for control is actually worse on the mother's part. They use that as an excuse. Go to court. If a woman is using their children as a tool, go to court, get split custody. get split custody. That way you're still active, because why would you want your children to be raised by someone that would use them as a tool? Go to court. Billy says deadbeats love their children as well, though. No. Well, if you love your children, you're supposed to support your children. You're supposed to make sure that they're fed and clothed and have proper shelter. So show your support in other ways other than saying it in some comment sections. Quay, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, says, you are part of the damn problem, woman. So she's the problem. Cool People says, he's right. Wait till the child grows up. By the time a child grows up, you are a stranger, and that person should not talk to you. You should leave them. If your daddy is a deadbeat, don't talk to them. That person was willing to just let you suffer. And if that deadbeat thought that your mom sucked, why would you be okay with letting your child grow up with a sucky person for a mom? Why didn't your deadbeat dad take her to court for you? He didn't, because he sucks. Says Mario says, kid can grow up with hatred to you, not the risk. Just fight and don't stop being in his life. Exactly. Just fight for your child. Get custody. If men were to go to court and attempt to get custody, they're getting some time with their children. But Cool People says, I feel you. But that would also be my instinct. But if the mother is truly being as difficult as the scenario stated, I have to keep my mental health intact and hope my child can hear my side and reconnect as they are of age. I'm sorry, when they are of age. Sorry. The man at the bottom says he got to be on something. Detroit Kavi says, agreed. Charberry says, yeah, we're never going to improve as a community, man. This video and these comments are so immature. That's the reason why we don't have a community. People get mad at me because I say stuff like, let the birth rate plummet to hell. But there's a reason why the birth rate needs to plummet to hell, because we don't have counterparts that are responsible and that deserve children. And we need a better group. And I checked. There's none in the back. So this is what we got. So not everybody's going to get some kids. So we need to have quality over quantity. And as of right now, the current crop of peen havers are not particularly great. Let the birth rate plummet to hell. Ibn Royal says, or Ibn Royal says, the child doesn't deserve that, and they're just going to have animosity towards you when they get older. FM Brazy says, this didn't work for me. It actually backfired. Only believe half of what you hear. But they would hear more if you decided to go to court and get custody. Anyways, that's enough of the comments. I am going to, if you haven't seen Melanie Hamlet, she did a video a day or two ago that's talking about the birth rate is crashing because of men. Here's Mel's video. Her name is Melanie Hamlet on both TikTok and YouTube. For my YouTube people, I'm going to post a clip, but if you want to see the full video, you have to go to her page. But she's like, the birth rate crisis is because of men. It is because of men, because women are seeing, especially child-free women, they see the burdens, everything that women are going through. Even in relationships, they see that women are carrying the load, and everything is on the shoulders of women. So if you're on TikTok, find this video. It's a good one. If you're on YouTube, you're going to get a clip, but you would have to go to her page to see the rest of the video. Anyways, let me know what you think about all of this. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Anything? Declining birth rates have nothing to do with women not wanting to be moms. It's about men. It's literally about men. I mean, some women don't want to be moms. I'm one of them. I'm child-free. I always will be, and it's the best decision of my life. But I swear to God, it is not even about that. It is about men. It's about men. That's the bigger part of the discussion. And all these things, like all these new things, like Russia, y'all, and like JD Vance is like, we want babies. They all are obsessed with babies and the declining birth rates. But what none of these countries will deal with is the fact that men suck. They are not doing what they need to be doing, and women are tired of it. All men fail on some level because they all benefit from men not doing anything. You didn't beat your kid, yay! Oh, you fed her. Oh my God, you're such a good dad. When I was a nanny, one of the dads the parents that I work for, where the dad was like, it's fascinating. Every time I go on vacation or do anything, and I'm literally parenting my children along with my wife, and women are looking at me afar and they're like, wow, good job. And the thing is that most men will take that and be like, look at me, look at me. This same way all men benefit from the violence of men. All men benefit from the violence, the extreme violence of men. You know what? You good men out there, y'all benefit from all these inchmails. That's why you don't want to fix the problem, because you look amazing by comparison. This same way white people who are an ally, as if that's a noun, not a verb, and if it's self-appointed somehow, are good ones because what? We're not doing other things horrific? No, the oppressive group benefits from the worst, most violent people in that group. All the other people, by comparison, look amazing.
A woman jumped in my Reddit inbox. I'm Bourbon Bougie over on Reddit. She wanted to share a story with me. She says, I'm sorry if this message is random, but I've been going through a relationship problem related to dating as a woman with ADHD and have no one to talk to about this. I felt like you were the most insightful person I know and would love to hear your opinion if that's okay. I'm like, let's hear it. I will say I am not versed very much on ADHD, but I have a community. That's the reason why I talk these things through. And that's one of the reasons why I do believe that women trust me. I know my limitations, but I have an amazing community. So let's jump into this one. She says, I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, which made me realize I have a pattern when it comes to developing relationships with men. I've developed so many hobbies over the years. So when I met a man, I've always had many things in common with him. I've been in situations where men would realize we have so much in common and tell me I'm not like the other girls, and share I'm their perfect match and no one else would match me better than them. But for me, we would only have a few things in common. And if I were to share more of myself that didn't align with them, they become angry or disregard whatever I want to share, as if I've strayed from the mental image they have of me. I've experienced this so much. In the end, my friendship with them would switch us only to talking about them, or they'd basically demand a relationship with me. I end up feeling like it's my fault things became that way and ghost them. If I try to end it in a call or text message, they become more demanding and try to convince me that I just need to try harder for the relationship to work. I feel so pressured when I talk to men, so I haven't spoken to another one until I realized I had ADHD and believe this might be the reason why I've only encountered pushy guys. Recently, I started talking to a guy who also has ADHD, which has made the process so much easier. We both understand each other well. We have so much in common, and he's open to hearing everything I have to share. He also doesn't try to force me, but is sometimes pushy if he wants to do something with me. He also asks whenever he's confused in order to avoid any misunderstandings. However, when we met, we've become very close in a short amount of time, which has me worried. He started to hyperfixate on me and would constantly miss me and want to talk to me. We recently realized that religion was very important to him, and I'm not Christian, which has changed things between us. Now it feels like he's very focused on my attention and shared his kinks with me, believing I'd understand. I didn't mind, but when we talk, it's now as if he tries to push a sub-dom relationship between us and often calls me his only perfect match, like men I've spoken to before. I do like him, but feel as if I've lost all interest. I don't want to end things quickly or wait it out. I don't trust how I feel because I've ended amazing friendships in the past due to feeling bored or uninterested. He's also told me he'd do anything to make sure I'm entertained and don't leave him out of boredom. That right there, this paragraph right here is already troubling to me, but I'll come back to it after I finish. She says, since I don't trust how I feel and I've realized I'm very impulsive when it comes to relationships, I can never tell if I have any real reason to end a relationship or if I'm making a horrible decision. I feel because I'm like this, I would never do well in a long-term relationship. So, since my diagnosis, I've only ever accepted friendships or relationships if they appear more casual. But every man I've met would know this and move quickly to make the relationship more serious. I'm sorry if my issue appears very jumbled. I'm not really sure how the ADHD diagnosis plays into relationship dynamics. Someone's going to have to clue me in on what happens with that because I'm not versed on it. But this part right here, where they realize that he is Christian and she's not. And he's all of a sudden hyper fixating on this sub dom situation. I think that he wants someone like her because he can't find someone like her. Find the perfect match in the church because that person is not going to be willing or may not be willing to do the whole sub dom thing. But someone like her that he feels he can sully because she's not into church would probably be a good candidate. So even if she's not into it, he's going to try to mold her into being like that. And maybe it has something to do with the ADHD and how she focuses on hobbies or whatnot. Maybe he's thinking that he can make this part of her hobby situation. I don't know. But the part that I fixated on was this: I'm not Christian. And now he's focused on sharing his kinks and being a sub-dom situation. And now it's like, cool, you're my perfect match. Let's do this. Let's go all in. He's doing this on purpose because I don't know why he's doing this on purpose. But like I said, I think that maybe he knows that someone, a nice, good church girl isn't going to go for this. Maybe that's what he thinks. And she would be more pliable and open to that situation. Anyways, let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation. Give your advice because, like I said, I don't know. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I was sent this post, and the woman that sent it said, "This man is about to be blindsided soon." So at first, he gives the edit. So I will come back to the edit, but it's titled, "Wife Pushing Me to Therapy." Okay, so this man says, "My wife wants me to go to therapy. I don't want to. This is not an unfounded request, as I've been dealing with some anxiety and depression issues, but I've been working through them myself the past few months and feel I'm getting better. But she is one of those people who has done therapy since she was 12 because her parents made her. So now she thinks the only way to work through issues is to talk to a stranger. Meanwhile, I'd rather talk to family and friends. She went behind my back and called a bunch of therapists and gave them my name and phone number. So now I'm getting texts and calls from therapists all of a sudden being like, let's set up an appointment. Because of this, I feel spiteful and more inclined to put my foot down and not go to therapy. I was considering it, at least trying it to satisfy her request, which feels like the wrong reason to do therapy, but I don't know. You do a lot of things to keep a marriage going. But now that she went behind my back to try to set up these appointments for me and shove therapy down my throat, I just want to never do it because it feels like an invasion. Like, I would never be like, you need to lose some weight. So I called a bunch of private trainers, or you seem lonely. So I found a bunch of people for you to be friends with. Anyway, am I the a-hole here for not wanting to do therapy that is being forcefully pushed on me by my wife? Okay, so here's his edit. He says, "It seems like the general consensus is that my wife is unhappy and this is the last straw before a divorce. Honestly, I don't believe that is the case because the only displeasure that she's voiced with our relationship in the past year is that she wants me to clean more, which we now have a mutually agreed cleaning schedule, and that's not an issue. She is generally very happy in our relationship and hasn't mentioned that my own mental hurdles are strongly impacting her. She claims that the reason she wants me to do therapy is not for her, but for me. But if that's the case, that she is close to wanting a divorce, then I'm not going to keep her in this marriage against her will. But honestly, I don't think that it's the case. I even offer to do couples therapy with her if she thinks we have issues that we need to talk through. She always says, no, we are great. I just want you to have someone to talk to that isn't biased like me. So maybe I'll be blindsided by a divorce filing like everyone seems to believe, or maybe I won't. I don't know. I would hope that if she was unhappy, she would just tell me that to my face. Now, here, he says he's having issues, but he doesn't want to talk to a stranger. He just rather talk to family and friends. That is what he's saying. He's having issues. He doesn't want to talk to a stranger. He wants to talk to family and friends. But here also, he says she claims that the reason she wants me to do therapy is not for her, but for me, because she wants him to go and talk to somebody and not just dump his issues on other people. That is how I'm interpreting this. I am not exactly sure, but maybe she's just like, dude, you need to go get this. You need to go work through your issues. We're not therapists. There are people that have that service and you will benefit from it. What I don't like about this post is he's asking if he's the a-hole, but he's not giving very many clues. He's not telling us very many details about why she's so adamant about it. Like, for her to go and do all of this and make these phone calls, set up these people, make sure that they have his information, something must have triggered it. And he's not telling us what. When they do this, they're leaving things out on purpose so that we can't really decide who's the a-hole here. It's very obscure on purpose. And I definitely believe that he's leaving things out so that we don't judge him harshly or whatnot, because she wouldn't just go around and just start making these phone calls if it were just something very simple. Let's check out some of these comments. This person says, a-holism aside, based on my personal experience with anxiety and depression, you should consider it. Your wife is not your shrink, and it's not fair to her. I will say this, me going to see a stranger to discuss things gave me a perspective that my wife and friends could not. And yes, I felt the same way as you about opening up to a stranger, just saying. And so many of these men, they talk about this male loneliness crisis, but they don't do the things that they need to do to pull them out of these funks that they will get in. They will do everything except therapy. Go to the gym, drink, do sports or something, just nothing to confront the actual issues. Nightshade said, I skipped the therapist and just went straight to a psychiatrist. I thought I had anxiety. I do, but I didn't realize how bad it was until I got on meds. I also didn't realize I had depression, as mine presents so differently from my siblings, but we're working on that too. Honestly, at this point, I'm kicking myself for not having looked into this sooner. Troublesome Turnip says, I see both regularly and it helps. I hate seeing stubborn people who would benefit from therapy and medication scoff. Burbie Snoots McGee, that's a good name, says, and based on his response to therapy, he probably doesn't have a good reaction to anything she says or suggests anyway. This guy sounds like machismo is his biggest issue. Alfrutux says, that's right, cautious midnight. What's the worst that could happen with you talking to a shrink? Literally nothing. You don't lose anything out of it. You've only got something to gain, and that's a better life and mental well-being. It's not weak. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not embarrassing. Everyone does it. They're trained professionals to help you navigate through your feelings and mental health, and it's something to take advantage of. Yes, you have family and friends you can talk to, but constantly either trauma dumping or dropping your emotional baggage on your close relationships can get exhausting. It affects people close to you. It makes them worry more about you, and it makes them also feel down. They can listen to you and lend an ear sometimes, yes, but they can't help you navigate through it to get better. They can't give you the treatment to get better, and that also makes it frustrating to them at the same time. They can drop some advice or give their opinion, but they're not trained to help you, and it's more biased if they try. It can weigh them down along with you. And if you're always in a negative mindset, it affects them too, and it makes them want to be around you less, since they don't want to always hear that negativity. Sometimes, yes, it's okay, but a lot can push them away, and you're not really qualified to help yourself either. You don't want to make people close to you your emotional tampons. What? Even if that sounds harsh, it's reality. They think you should seek professional help, someone who's qualified to help you instead of getting that stuff dumped on them all the time. And with that, I'm going to end it there. I don't know why some people are so resistant, even when people are pushing you that way. It's for a reason. It's not simply because they're trying to be antagonistic or they don't want to listen, but maybe it is just becoming too much to bear. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.